What do the wheel of this car, this donut, and this light all have in common? That's right, they all have the shape of a circle. We see and use circles every day. We ride to school on circular tires. We turn circular doorknobs. And we button circular buttons. As you can see, circles are very important to us. But how do we describe and measure circles? During the next few minutes, we're going to explore these questions and others as we investigate circles. You decide. Describe the difference in shape between this coin and this business card. The coin has a circular shape, and the business card has a rectangular shape. It's easy to recognize the shape of a circle, but what exactly is a circle, and how do we describe a circle? You can think of a circle as a set of points in a plane that are the same distance from a center point. As this ruler pivots around the center point of this circle, you can see that all points are the same distance from the center point. When all the points are connected, the continuous line forms a circle. This is a side view of a bicycle tire. As you can see, it has a circular shape. This is the center point of the tire. The thin pieces of metal radiating out from the center point are called spokes. Notice how each spoke is the same length. Similarly, this diagram has lines that connect the center point to the outer edge of the circle. Each line segment that connects the center to the circle is called a radius. The radius consists of a line segment from the center point to the edge of the circle. The length of this particular radius is 10 centimeters. The figure on this basketball court has a circular shape. Notice the straight line that goes across the entire circle. The line that passes through the center of a circle completely crossing the circle is called the diameter. Diameter is typically expressed in units of length that often include centimeters, inches, feet, yards, meters, kilometers, or miles. The diameter of this circular hot tub is about 200 centimeters, and its radius is 100 centimeters. The radius is always half the diameter in the same circle. You decide. If this circle has a diameter of 10 centimeters, what is its radius? That's right, it has a radius of 5 centimeters. The diameter across the top of this glass is about 3.5 inches, and the diameter of this tree cross-section is about 15 centimeters. Diameter is commonly used to describe the size of screws, drill bits, and tires. This fountain has a circular shape. The distance you walk around the circle is the circumference of the circle. Circumference is the distance around a circle. You can use a tape measure to measure the circumference of this table. It's also possible to calculate the circumference of a circle if we know its diameter. The formula for calculating circumference is circumference equals pi times diameter. This is the symbol for pi. But what is pi? Over time, mathematicians found that pi is a ratio that equals circumference divided by diameter. Every circle, regardless of its size, results in the ratio called pi. In all circles, the ratio is approximately 3.14. So, If we know the diameter of this circle to be 20 centimeters, we can calculate its circumference with the formula circumference equals pi times diameter. When we multiply 3.14 by 20 centimeters, we get a circumference of 62.8 centimeters. How do we calculate the circumference of a circle if we only know the radius? Let's look at an example by trying to find the circumference of this cake. If we know the length of this piece of cake is 6 centimeters, we can use it as the radius in the formula. Circumference equals 2 times pi times the radius. So we multiply 2 times 3.14 times 6 centimeters to get a circumference of 37.68 centimeters. This means the distance around this circular cake is 37.68 centimeters. Pizza is a favorite food for many people. You decide. If you and your friends were really hungry, which pizza would you prefer? You probably would prefer the pizza on the right. Why? Because if you are really hungry, the pizza on the right provides a lot more food. This is largely due to the fact that it has a bigger area. The question is, how much more area? This is not hard to do using the formula area equals pi times radius squared. Let's try this formula using data from our pizzas. We'll start with the smaller pizza. We can easily measure the radius by taking a single slice that represents half the diameter. The length of the slice is 8 centimeters. Plugging this into our formula, we get pi, or 3.14, times 8 centimeters squared. The area of the small pizza is 200.96 square centimeters. Now, let's find the area of the bigger pizza. After carefully cutting slices, we measure the edge of one slice to get the value of the radius. This piece measures 14 centimeters. Using our formula for the area of a circle, we multiply pi, or 3.14, times radius of 14 centimeters squared to get an area of 615.44 square centimeters. So now we know why the big pizza is a better choice for a hungry group. It has over 3 times more area. This water bottle and this can of seltzer water have a shape referred to as a cylinder. If you look at these structures from the top, they have a circular shape. Cylinders are three-dimensional structures. In other words, they have length, height, and width. A cylinder is defined as a three-dimensional object that has a circular base. It's possible to find the surface area and volume of a cylinder. Let's find the surface area of this can. If we carefully pull off the label from the outside of the can, you can see it forms a rectangle. You already know how to compute the area of a rectangle by multiplying its width times its height. When we multiply the length of 23 centimeters times the width of 10 centimeters, we get an area of 230 square centimeters. But we still need to find the area of the circular top and bottom of the can using the formula area equals pi times radius squared. Using a metric ruler, we find the diameter to be 7 centimeters. Naturally, the radius is half the diameter, which is 3.5 centimeters. Plugging these numbers into the formula, we can calculate area. So 3.14 times 3.5 centimeters squared equals 38.465 square centimeters. But don't forget, there are circles on both the top and bottom of the can, so we need to add both to the side surface area. So we add 38.465 square centimeters and 38.465 square centimeters and 230 square centimeters to get a total surface of the cylinder of 306.93 square centimeters. It's also possible to calculate the volume of cylinders. Let's calculate the volume of this cylinder to see how much salt it contains. To find the volume for the cylinder, we use the formula volume equals base area times height. So, we first need to find the area of the circular base using the formula base area equals pi times its radius squared. The diameter of the circular base is 8 centimeters. Since the radius is half the diameter, we know the radius is 4 centimeters. So 3.14 times 4 centimeters squared equals 50.24 square centimeters. You can imagine many circles within the cylinder stacked on top of each other from top to bottom. To find the number of circles, we measure the height of the cylinder. So, with a metric ruler, we measure the height of the cylinder to be 14 centimeters. To find the volume, we multiply the base, which is 50.24 centimeters squared, times the height of 14 centimeters, to be a total volume of 703.36 cubic centimeters. So this means that the container holds 703.36 cubic centimeters of salt. During the past few minutes, we explored many of the fascinating features of circles. We began by discussing the nature of circles, while identifying the radius and diameter of circles. Next, we learned how to measure the circumference of circles, as well as how to calculate circumference using the formula circumference equals pi times diameter. We also explored how to find the area of circles using the formula area equals pi times radius squared. Last, we discussed how to find the area as well as the volume of cylinders. So, the next time you need to find the circumference or the area of a circle, or find the area or volume of a cylinder, think about some of the things we just discussed during the past few minutes. You just might think about your world a little differently. Fill in the correct word to complete the sentence. Good luck, and let's get started. Number 1. The line that passes completely across a circle through the center is called the Number 2. The diameter of this circle is 12 centimeters, which means its radius is centimeters. Number 3. Is the distance around a circle. Number 4. Is a ratio that equals circumference divided by diameter. And number 5. The formula to calculate the volume of a cylinder is volume equals base area times